You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look me better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the fourth part of What If Naruto Enters Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. With Naruto. So you're done now? Naruto asked with a bored tone of voice. Not quite. I am going to broadcast your execution now. Seeing as you have 2 minutes before your hockey returns. It is hockey, right? The leader asked as the cage disappeared from around Naruto before the gamified Steve slammed him into the ground holding Naruto down. What are you gonna have me beat to death cause I'm without my RBB powers? Come on, be creative, man, Naruto smirked. Tempting, but that would take too long and I'm a busy man. Wasp end his life for all to witness, the leader ordered the Gamma Wasp as her claws glowed with gamma energy. Smart, but you forgot something. Killing me won't change the fact someone will stop you. So go ahead and do it, but you're only prolonging your defeat. Naruto told him with a grin. You're stalling for time so your hockey can return and that won't work. Wasp, do it, leader said with a firm tone. Worth a shot. Guess I'm dead, Naruto said with a smile even as Janet brought her claws down towards his neck. Before the roof above them smashed in and Jennifer crashed through, landing in front of Janet. Step away from my man. Jen yelled out before she slugged Janet, sending her into a wall. Jennifer? Naruto asked wide-eyed. Sup, stud? Sit tight, the sensational She-Hulk's got this. Jen yelled before she grabbed Steve and threw him into the leader, sending them both flying out of the nearby door. Woo! 15 points. Jennifer cackled as she cracked her neck. Impossible. How are you not under my control? All gamma beings within the dome are mine to control, the leader growled as he slowly stood up from the floor looking at Jennifer. F you, that's how. Now let's go, TSTCL face. Jennifer grinned before leaping at the leader and Steve. With Clint and Natasha. You're involved in this, aren't you? Clint asked the down Natasha after tying her up again. Don't be stupid. Hydra has as much to lose as anyone if that maniac takes over the world. Even more so given the reveal of that Japanese village, Natasha said with a scowl. True, didn't peg Joy Boy's home as a Wakanda situation, Clint said as he gathered up his gear. It's worse than that, you fool. If every person in his village has a power as random as Joy Boy, do you have any idea what that means? Natasha yelled. Yeah, people on Hulk's level of strength keeping the same powers, much like if a mutant gets hit with this dome. Guess I'll have to stop this, Clint said looking at the dome. Oh. And how are you going to do that? The Avengers were in the dome and have been turned, as you saw. Joy Boy is probably the only one that didn't turn, and you going in there means you're under the leader's control. What hope do you have? Natasha yelled at him. Me? None. But not every Avenger was in that dome. I have to find the Hulk, Clint said seriously. The Hulk? Are you serious? You think he'll help you? Natasha asked, baffled. Maybe not. But Bruce Banner is the foremost expert on gamma energy. He and the Hulk have had run-ins with the leader before. He'll know how to stop this. Clint told her. I see we don't have much time then. The Hulk was spotted in northern Canada this morning. There's a Hulkbuster operation about to commence. We can dash, Natasha was saying, but Clint cut her off. What do you mean, weak traitor? Clint asked with a glare before turning away from her as Natasha's wide eyes turned into a fierce glare. Come back here. You can't leave me like this. Natasha yelled. You made it so I had to leave my family behind. IDMN well can Nat, Clint said with a tone that sounded like he was spitting poison. Natasha said nothing to this as she knew Clint had her there. Look on the bright side, widow. Your new green skin will match your eyes, Clint told her as he boarded his skycycle and flew off. She could only look at the approaching Gamma Dome as she struggled in her restraints to free herself. With Naruto. Come on Haki. My RBB powers may be halted by this SHT but my Haki shouldn't be, Naruto growled out under his breath as he waited for his Haki to recharge while watching Jennifer fend off Gamma Janet and Steve as the leader turned tail and ran away. As Jen slammed Steve into the floor with a judo throw, Naruto felt a surge of energy flow back into his body. With a roar he activated his armament Haki and ripped apart the energy suppression cuffs like tissue paper. Janet hissed at Naruto at this before Naruto glared at her and hit her with a pulse of his conqueror's Haki making her faint and fall to the ground. Sorry Janet. But I don't have time to play around, Naruto said before he blasted another pulse at Steve which caused him to faint and fall to the ground. DMN whiskers and I thought you got my fire roaring before. If we weren't in a life or death battle right now I'd drag you to the hotel and break the bed with you, Jennifer said with a chuckle. This is new coming from you Jen, Naruto said with an awkward chuckle of his own as he took this all in as Jennifer had never been this outgoing before. Blame yourself on that whiskers. You have an attracting personality. Making lots of women flock to you, Jennifer said as she approached Naruto before she trailed a finger under his chin with a teasing smirk. I do. Naruto asked raising an eyebrow at this. Oh yeah. Laura, rogue. Your teammate there when she's not a giant bug monster. Probably a few others. What say after we save the world we go throw a party to celebrate? Jennifer purred out as she grabbed Naruto by the front of his shirt and pulled him close. Wait a minute, is the camera from the execution still on? Naruto asked seeing the red light still on. With Kushina. Gahahahahaha. I like that green one. Kushina laughed as she slammed her palm on her newly brought-in desk at seeing this. So does this mean brother is engaged? A teenage girl with long red hair and whisker-like markings asked with a quirked eyebrow. She was wearing a sleeveless white garment with a diamond-shaped design on both sides and an indigo wisp patterned bottom half. Engaged. Pray. Take your pick Akane. Take your pick, Minato said with a deadpan tone. Back with Naruto and Jen. Who cares if it is or isn't on? Let's go beat the hell out of Fathead and his cronies. Then we can invite the other girls for an org beyond all orgies. Jennifer exclaimed. I think we should maybe take this, oi. Naruto was saying till Jen lifted him up onto her shoulder and carried him off running after the leader. Let's go kick some ass babe. Jennifer yelled. I think I need an adult. Naruto yelled as he held on to Jennifer for dear life as she ran. I am an adult. Jennifer yelled with a cackle. The two ran down the hallway, Jennifer laughing the whole way as multiple metal doors slammed in front of them to block their path. Only for Jennifer to punch through each on without breaking her sprint. Eventually they came into a room seeing Thor holding Mjolnir as he stared down the leader and Abomination only for a grey slime-like being to surround him before forming into a bald man that was touching Mjolnir. Absorbing man. Do take care of the so-called God of Thunder. Abomination and the Gamma Harlot and the RBB BRT, the leader ordered. I got your BRT fat head. My Haki is back and I'm ready to end this CRP. Naruto yelled as he jumped off Jennifer's shoulder and his arm was coated in Haki. Before he could do anything though, Janet and Steve came roaring in from the door behind them while Chala and Tony approached from behind the leader's desk. Stop him. The leader yelled as he pointed at Naruto before he would activate Gear 4. Abomination launched himself at Naruto but before he could approach a large hole came from the ceiling dropping onto Abomination. Huh? Naruto asked confused before a loud roar sounded as the Hulk leapt down with Hawkeye. Freeze big head. Hawkeye yelled with his arrow pointed at the leader as the Hulk roared in challenge. Unjolly green giant, I've never been so glad to see you. Naruto smirked, and you made a friend, he exclaimed. Ignore the Hulk. Stop, Joy Boy. The leader demanded, getting the attention back onto him. We'll catch up after. For now I'm stepping it up a gear. Gear 4th. Naruto yelled as he bit into his arm. As he did, smoke started to cover him and, bounce man. Naruto yelled out with a glare. With Kushina. Kushina, Minato, and Akane blinked in surprise at the now revealed Gear 4 form of Naruto's. Well, this is interesting, Minato said, pausing to find the right words for this form. It's F stupid, Akane said with a flat tone of voice, obviously not impressed. Bounce man. I have no son. Kushina yelled as she slammed her head on her desk in shame. Akane, you're in charge of the village after me, Kushina groaned. Bing, Akane said with a mad grin as her eyes flashed red, my first order of business will be to kill off a lot of the villagers. Sweetie, the microphone is on, Minato said as he patted his daughter on the shoulder. I know it's on. Let them fear me. Akane yelled as she pulled away from her father. That's my baby girl. Kushina yelled happily. We're doomed, Minato muttered flatly. With Naruto. Bounce man. That's the name you gave this thing? Clint asked, baffled. Of the people in this room, who has powers and not a bow and arrow? Naruto snarked. Don't laugh, fair archer, it is a most powerful form. After all, he did best, the lightning brute, Thor said as he remembered what Naruto did to Zaxax. Wait, that was him? Clint asked, wide eyes. Let's see it, RBB boy. Abomination yelled as he charged at Naruto with a growl. Sure thing, asshat. Naruto yelled before he started to fly at Abomination. His legs bouncing on air to propel him. Like elastic as his hands sunk back into his arm. Gum gum calm gun. Naruto shouted as he slugged Abomination hard with his massive fist, nailing him in the face. This made a shockwave of haki go off before Abomination was sent flying out of the building via the skylight, which Naruto had created via a single punch, sending the brute all the way into the Nevada desert. Back with Kushina. Kushina, Minato and Akane's mouths were hanging open in shock at this show of power from Naruto's strength in this form. Holy FSHT. Akane yelled in wide-eyed shock. You still don't have a son, Kushi? Minato asked with a chuckle as he composed himself. Shut up, B. I retract my last statement. You're out, Akane. Kushina yelled at her husband before she looked at her daughter. We will see if this form can take a hit from my mace, Akane growled as she grabbed a iron-spiked mace off her back, which started to spark with her haki. She loved her brother, but the two were set to fight down the line to claim the throne. It was tradition after all. With Naruto. Holy CRP. Clint said, wide-eyed at this show of power. Not bad, RBB man, Hulk grinned savagely. Does that form translate to the bedroom? Jennifer asked with a grin. Naruto ignored Jennifer's question as he glared at the leader. Your turn now, fathead. You fools have been a thorn in my side for far too long. It seems I have to dash, the leader was saying before he was pummeled by Naruto's fists into the ground. Gum gum Kong Gatling, the ground repeatedly cracking with each strike of Naruto's fists. Aura 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 aura. Naruto yelled as he kept bashing in the leader. As this happened, Hulk leapt up through the ceiling to destroy the tower emitting the Gamma Dome, while Jennifer and Clint took on the Gamma Avengers. Jennifer restraining them with her strength while Clint inoculated them. Stop. Please stop. The leader yelled as he was being pummeled. Hell no, PP bag. This is for my team. My village. And the entire world. Aura 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 aura. Naruto roared as he gave the man the mother of all beatdowns. Emma mercy, the leader stuttered out. No mercy for assholes. Aura. Naruto yelled, sending one final punch into the leader's battered face, sending the big-headed Gamma being through the floor of the building. And the floor after that. And so forth until he hit ground level. And next time I won't go so easy on you. Naruto yelled down from the holes in the ceiling as his gear fourth form faded. Little much, don't you think? Clint asked as the Gamma dome fell. I thought it was hot. Jennifer said with a grin. Who's the wannabe? Hulk growled as he dropped down to them after destroying the antenna and hurtling it into space. Your lawyer cousin. She should be turning back to normal since the Gamma dome is gone, Naruto said as he deflated. Yeah, well, my body didn't get the memo, Whiskers. I feel pretty good, Jennifer said as she flexed her arms a bit. Give it a moment, Clint said before they waited as the dome fully went down. And there was no change in Jennifer's body. That's odd. I thought being out of the dome would turn people back to normal, Clint said as he raised an eyebrow at this. It should. Why didn't she turn back? Naruto asked. Who the hell cares? I'm hot and ready to party like this, Jennifer grinned as she lifted Naruto up onto her arms. Let's go celebrate. She yelled. Little help here. Naruto yelled out in a panic. Nope, Clint said, walking away as he went to check on the Avengers and help them up. Banner says she may be like him and have unique traits like him. Or some other CRP. He talks too much, Hulk grunted out. Okay, but can you at least get me out of her arms? I ain't ready for this kind of commitment. Naruto yelled. Commitment? Well, aren't you a sweetheart? I just want to have some fun with you. See if that stretching helps in bed, Jennifer said with a grin as she found Naruto's semi-innocence kinda cute. My head, Janet groaned as she stood up from the floor with the other Avengers. Janet, save me. I'm gonna get SNU snood to death. Naruto yelled in a panic as he tried to get loose from Jennifer. Who's the Gamazon? Tony asked with a raised eyebrow. It's me, Jennifer. Hi Janet, Jennifer said with a smile and a wave at Janet. Wanna join me and the stretching stud here to celebrate? We have hotel bed to wreck, Jennifer asked as she smirked sensually at Naruto. I don't consent to this. Naruto yelled in a panic. Jennifer out before dropping Naruto to the floor. Puny Banner said she may be high on adrenaline from her transformation and will calm down later. Hulk grunted out. Oh good. And how long will I have to deal with an overly hypersed Amazon? Naruto asked with a groan. Oh relax, I'm just teasing you, Whiskers. I'm not gonna do you like that unless you're into that, I mean, in which case KNKY, Jennifer smirked. Wow, Janet said as this version of Jennifer was definitely different. Where is the leader? Steve asked, ignoring the whole conversation. Down that hole. And all the other ones I sent him through, Naruto said, pointing at the hole in the floor. Woo, he must have pissed you off, Tony said with a whistle. And Skippy, he did. Now let's go help the SHIELD agents take him and the other assholes in, Naruto said. Works for me, though why are all of the news outlets freaking out about you, kid? You slug another senator? Tony asked as he pointed at a TV which was showing a new bulletin with Naruto's picture. God, I wish it were that. It'd be so much easier to deal with punching a senator than the CRP the leader pulled, Naruto groaned out. Are these cameras supposed to still be on? Chala asked, seeing a bunch of cameras on in the leader's office. Oh God, FDMN. Don't take that out of context, news teams. Naruto yelled at the cameras. A few moments later. The SHIELD response team was detaining the Gamma prisoners, including Zaxax. You like to beat the hell out of your enemies, don't you, Joy Boy? Quartermain asked as he approached Naruto. Fury still hiding somewhere and sent you to reprimand me? He couldn't send Hill to do it. At least she has a nice A-, Naruto was saying before Janet zapped him. Christ, I was kidding. Naruto said. Janet's is better. So's Rogue's, Jennifer said as she winked at Janet, making her sputter in surprise. Anyways, if you're here to just reprimand me, you can save yourself the trouble, Naruto told Quartermain. It's actually not. Footage from Hawkeye's Skycycle confirmed he was framed as a traitor to S.H.I.E.L.D. by Black Widow. The same woman who brought you here for this mission, Quartermain. She is good. She fooled my observation. Haki, Naruto said as he tilted his head to the side. Did she? Or did her looks distract you? Hawkeye asked with a scowl. Got something to say, Legolas? Naruto asked with a glare. I'm not exactly one to trust someone who has big secrets like you and your village. Hey, my village has done nothing to hurt anyone since it's been founded. We isolated ourselves so we wouldn't. And trust? Real rich coming from the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, Naruto scoffed. Ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. I just wanted to help people, RBB boy. I wasn't born lucky with powers. I had to train my ass off to get the skills I have, Clint said as he glared at Naruto. You want to help people? Naruto asked as he looked at Clint before smiling brightly as his Haki told him Clint wasn't lying. Then why don't you join us? Why not become an Avenger? Naruto asked. I'm fine with that. You did good, Hawkeye. You too, Hulk, Tony said as he nodded. You guys got thrashed easily, so pass. I'm flying solo, Clint told them. You could have gotten captured too if the leader took you seriously, Arrow. If you ask me, the team needs a guy like you to keep the team honest, Jennifer said with a firm tone. Sound reasoning, Miss Walters, Chala said as he nodded in agreement. Thanks. Can I join too? She started to ask before she was cut off. Oh hell no. I don't need you harassing Whiskers, Tony yelled, terrified at the idea of this. If he will not join us, then what about you, friend Hulk? Will you walk away? You are indeed a noble warrior. One who has saved the Avengers and helped save the world. I would trust you with my life. Will you trust us? Thor told him. I'll stay if Cupid stays, Hulk said as he pointed at Clint. Ha! Cupid. That's a good one. Naruto snorted. And if I spar with you in your bounce man form? Hulk asked with a grin at Naruto. Naruto blinked at this before he chuckled. If you think you can take me on, big man, he said as he cracked his knuckles and neck before Clint pushed him aside and walked towards the Hulk. You wanna go, Jade Jaws? Right here right now? Let's do this. Clint glared at the Hulk. Okay, this is gonna be fun, Tony sighed. I think so. This is funny, Naruto snickered before feeling a hand on his shoulder. Yup. Now speaking of fun, Jennifer purred out in his ear. Oh, look at that, I think Devil Dinosaur is calling me. Bye, Jen. Naruto yelled before stretching his arm and slingshotting himself away in a panic. Go ahead and run, Whiskers. I'm a patient woman. I'll get you yet. Jennifer said with a chuckle at this as she was having fun messing with Naruto. Nevada Desert. Abomination crawled along the desert floor after Naruto slugged him before a magical portal opened up before his eyes. Hello. Mr. Blonsky, Zemo said as he, Wonder Man, Executioner, a man in a red suit of armor known as the Crimson Dynamo, Sasuke, and Amora appeared in front of him. We have a proposal for you. Normally she'd give you the spiel, but she's coping, Sasuke said, pointing at Amora, who was currently incinerating a doll that looked like She-Hulk with her magic. Die. 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 She growled out as the doll burned. Back in Yamatora village. Inside a underground base, a old one-armed man with bandages covering most of his body, only leaving one eye visible. This was Danzo, one of the village elders. Danzo was currently watching the world news, which was reporting on everyone's reactions to the reveal of Yamatora village and what they were capable of. Kushina's BRT galvanting and helping the outside world has resulted in the worst-case scenario. Now the village is exposed to everyone, Danzo said as he gripped his cane tightly as he watched footage of Naruto's fight with Abomination and the leader. Suddenly he felt a presence behind him and quickly turned and saw what looked like a small drone which opened and started to project a holographic image of Doom. Denizen of Yamatora village. Identify yourself, Doom ordered. Oh. Why should I? I'm just a feeble old man after all, Danzo asked as he looked at the holographic image. Do you think I know nothing of you, Danzo Shimura? Former military advisor to Yamatora's strongest warriors. Forcibly retired by Kushina Uzumaki and replaced by her husband Minato Namikaze, Doom told him. You are well informed for an outsider, Danzo admitted with a scowl. I am a man that does his research on his enemies and potential allies if they are willing to listen. Doom said as he looked at Danzo. Listen. To an outsider? Preposterous. Danzo scoffed. This outsider has mastery of science and magic on his side. However, if you will not hear me out, then you will lose out on this opportunity to make your village strong. Like it should have been from the start, Doom told him. Danzo was silent at this before he looked up at Doom's image. What's your proposal, Doom? Danzo asked, intrigued now. I seek conquest of this village. To add its power so I may rule the world as I am rightfully owed. If you help me, I could see my way into letting you lead this village under my orders. You'd be able to make the village as strong as you'd like, of course. And cull the weak with your strength. Doom offered. How? That fool Kushina crippled me when she dashed, Danzo was growling. Ah. And what if I could restore you to a state far beyond your prime using my technology and mysticism? Doom asked. Then I would follow you into hell itself, sir, Danzo said as he bowed his head. I'm respect. Good, now tell me the secrets of your village power. Only then will I give you the power you are owed, Doom said as he glared at Danzo, who bowed in respect to his new MSTR as his one arm changed. Dripping magma onto the floor which burned through it easily. 2 weeks after Gamma World. Baxter Building. A couple of weeks had passed since the events of Gamma World in Las Vegas. For most of the Avengers, life had returned to some normalcy as the team reintegrated the Hulk into the group as well. As showing around and briefing and testing Clint Barton aka Hawkeye, their newest recruit. While normalcy had returned for some. For Naruto it did not. After all, his hidden village's secrets were shown publicly to the world by a crazed, big-headed, Gamma telepath. And now because of that he was being hounded by reporters and journalists who wanted to get an exclusive report about his village's secrets. Which he had been avoiding like the plague. Naruto had just arrived at the Baxter Building with Jennifer, who was in her regular form and wearing a rain jacket and hat, while Ben was. I said no press on the premises, you bunch of losers. Ben was heard yelling at the reporters who were trying to enter to follow Naruto and Jennifer inside. We saw Joy Boy enter. We demand to speak with him, a reporter was heard yelling. Get off our property. Don't make me call the cops, you morons. Ben yelled. We refuse to leave until we see Joy Boy. The same reporter yelled. Okay, I'm starting to get annoyed, Jennifer said as she took off her rain hat and glared at the reporters as her eyes slightly turned green. Just let Ben handle this, please, Naruto begged her. Fine. For you I will, Jennifer said as she sighed. And if you don't leave in 10 minutes I'm calling the cops. Ben yelled out once more before slamming the door. Geez kid, I don't think I've ever seen that many reporters on the lawn. Well, he is the Japanese equivalent of a Wakandan prince or Genoshan royal family like Pietro Maximoff, Johnny said as he came into the lobby. I'm not here to talk about how my social life is dead. Naruto said as he sighed at the fact that he couldn't leave the mansion anymore without getting swarmed by the press asking questions. Okay, what you need, kid? Ben said as he chuckled. A couple things actually. Tony sent me to see the progress on the negative zone prison, Naruto explained. Why would Stark send you? Johnny asked as while he liked Naruto he didn't see him as an expert with this kind of thing. Because I was gonna come here for another reason and Tony is passing the buck to me so he can take Pepper to Little Italy, Naruto informed them with a smirk. And what's the other reason? Ben asked curiously. That would be me, Rocky, Jennifer said with a small wave and a smile. We wanted to put her new powers to the test, Naruto explained. Powers? Johnny asked as he looked at Jennifer. Jennifer smiled at this before she suddenly grew taller and her skin turned green, becoming the She-Hulk once more before their eyes. Hello, nurse. Johnny yelled as he looked at Jennifer and smiled as he checked her out. Not interested, flame boy. The only guy I'll let take this body for a ride is the RBB man beside me, Jennifer said, pointing at Naruto. You lucky bstrd, Johnny grumbled out. Anyway, I heard you guys were looking to add another hero to the team and I wanted to ask Susan if she could do me a favor. Even if you don't decide take her on the team, I'd still be grateful for the chance to at least test her powers, Naruto said as he looked at Ben. Well, we already have a muscle head on the team, so unless she has other skills, Johnny was saying. I'm a top-rate lawyer and I heard you guys have had some legal problems due to the unfortunate of Dr. Richards in regards to investors and inventions, Jennifer said with a professional tone. Oh. That's wonderful, Susan said as she came out of the elevator and into the lobby. Where's Frankie Susie? Ben asked curiously. I got him down for a nap since the reporters finally left, she said with a sigh as that had taken a while due to those parasites yelling and screaming for an interview. Sorry about that, Naruto said with a wince, feeling guilty. It's quite alright, you can tell Tony the prison is all set and if Miss Walters wants to join the team I can see her joining us here. It would be nice to have another female on the team after all. Susan said with a smile at Jennifer. If Susie's on board with it then I don't got any problems with it. We'll just need to test her and make her prove she's up to snuff, Ben said, crossing his rocky arms over his chest. Looking forward to it, bulky, Jennifer smirked. Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Richards, Naruto said with a smile before Susan winced a bit. Just Sue is fine. Please, Susan told him as that title felt a bit painful given her husband having the same title. Oh sorry Sue, Naruto apologized with a bow. It's quite alright now, why don't you relax with Ben and Johnny a bit while me and Jennifer head up to the training area, Susan told Naruto. Sure thing. I don't exactly want to deal with the vultures on the street anytime soon. It'll be nice to rest, Naruto admitted as he needed a break from the CRP with his village reveal. Understandable. Let's head up then, Jennifer, Susan told the Gamazon. Sounds good to me. See you later, stud, Jennifer told him with a SNSL smirk and a wink as she walked away from Naruto with a slight sway in her peach which Naruto leered at. You are the luckiest bstrd I have ever met, Johnny told him a bit jealous. Can we please talk about something else? Naruto begged. Not sure what you want to talk about. Everything we could talk about with you is something you don't want to talk about, Ben pointed out. Okay, well I could ask you guys questions or we can just chill and watch a podcast. I'm fine with anything at this point that doesn't involve reporters outside, Naruto said. Works for me, follow me to our pad, Whiskers, Johnny said as he led the way to the elevator. I'll bring up some beers, Ben said as he went towards a large fridge. I'll order pizza, you like 3 meat? Johnny asked as he took out his cell phone. Sounds good to me. So long as there's no pineapple on it I'll eat any pizza, Naruto told them. Later up in the penthouse, Naruto, Johnny and Ben were all watching TV while eating pizza and drinking beers. Ah, it's great to just relax. Have some time to yourself. Naruto sighed blissfully before the elevator door opened as Susan and Jennifer came inside. Hey, how'd the tests go? Naruto asked curiously. She needs some training but she has good instincts. I'm surprised Tony told her no to the Avengers, Susan said. He was worried I'd break his bed on a nightly basis, Jennifer said pointing at Naruto as if talking about the weather. Thank you, Jen, Naruto sighed at her forward attitude as she hulked. Oh, you know you'd love it. Day and night taking a crack at this as, Jennifer snickered, getting blushes from Susan and Johnny at her forward speaking. Naruto ignored this as he turned the channel so he could find a distraction. And luckily he did, in the form of a podcast being broadcast not just on a streaming service but also through a news outlet. Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson. You're probably wondering why I'm not using my normal method of podcasting to my viewers but also broadcasting myself. Well, it's because today I am not here to talk about that menace Spider-Man, an older man with gray hair and a mustache was saying. He's not gonna bash Spidey. This'll be interesting, Johnny said as he was friends with the arachnid superhero, so this was a bit of a shock. What I will be talking about today is the freak of nature of the Avengers Joy Boy. And his hidden village of power having freaks like him. Jonah yelled. Ah, CRP, Ben sighed looking towards Naruto whose eye was twitching. But I am not a man in an echo chamber, let's take some calls. You're on the air. Jonah said as he looked at the stage hand. Yeah, I don't see why Joy Boy should be feared if he's on a team like the Avengers. I mean. Yeah, he kept his village a secret but everyone's got skeletons in their closet, a female caller said. Well now then, whatever your name is, Jonah was saying but was cut off. It's Becky, the caller said. Didn't ask. You see, it's quite simple, much like how Spider-Man stopping crime brought in a bunch of freaks and superhumans to deal with him since he kept sticking his nose in every crime. Joy Boy's village is now gonna send reprisal after him, and seeing as the Avengers are in New York, we're all in danger from every freak from Japan that'll want his head. Jonah said. Well, he's not wrong, Naruto said with a sigh at this. And that's not even scratching the surface of this character of a so-called hero. What with his copycat abilities of the late great Mr. Fantastic. Hey! I can't help what powers I was born with. Naruto yelled as he got up. And how he attacked Senator Robert Kelly in broad daylight over a disagreement, Jonah continued. Disagreement my ass. I'd punch him again if he said those things again. Naruto growled. Not helping your case there, Ben deadpanned. Not trying to, Naruto said as he listened for more. But no, his biggest sin is his playboy ways that were broadcast for all to see during the Gamma World incident. What with his apparent flirting with the Green Woman and his own teammate who even admitted on live TV he had several women interested in him, Jonah continued. Well, he's got you there, Whiskers, Jennifer said with a chuckle. Wait, where did he go? Susan asked as she noticed Naruto was not in the room. He said he needed some air, Johnny said as he shrugged. Let's take another call. You're on the air. Jonah yelled on the TV. Listen up, you Hitler statch looking BSTRD. I'm all for freedom of speech, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna be insulted by a former desk jockey who thought he wrote gospel when in actuality you wrote mediocre, cash grab, tabloids that only idiots preached about. Naruto yelled loudly on the air. Ah, CRP, Johnny sighed as everyone looked out at the balcony and saw Naruto on his cell phone. You dare insult me, you no good delinquent. I have half a mind to sue you for your comments. Jonah yelled. Delinquent? I'm in my 20s, you try aging being made of RBB. Oh wait, you can't, you senile old fart. Let's cut this BS and face it, the only claim to fame you have is hating Spider-Man and getting a HRD on because of it. Or can you even get hard anymore given your age? Say, is that why your wife left you? Naruto asked mockingly. How dare you dash, Jonah was saying till Naruto cut him off. Oh, what's the matter? Can't take someone insulting you over the phone? You can dish it out but can't take it. Hey, tell you what, how about I stop by there and tell you in person, Naruto told him. And you're done, Ben said, cutting Naruto off and grabbing Naruto's phone out of his hand before looking at it. He's right, the USCK, Ben said before hanging up. That was probably a bad move, Susan said as she shook her head at Naruto. Bah! I'm not scared of that pompous old windbag, Naruto said as he scoffed. As you all heard, I was insulted and threatened by New York's newest menace, Joy Boy. Normally such a thing would upset others, but I, as a good and righteous man, shall turn the other cheek and not stoop to his level or get angry. Jared, where's my coffee? It better be in my hands in 5 minutes or you're fired. Jonah yelled out angrily to the side. Still think I should be worried about him? Naruto asked Susan sarcastically. Susan said nothing to this as she shook her head in defeat. Exactly. Victory for the RBB man. Naruto cheered. Later. After leaving Jennifer at the Baxter building, Naruto was now using his RBB arms to swing and catapult around the city to avoid the people below. More specifically, any reporters. Gotta admit that Spider Guy makes this look easy, speaking of which, Naruto was saying to himself as he landed on a rooftop to catch his breath before he spotted said spider hero swinging in the distance. I should go introduce myself after I catch my breath, Naruto said before he heard yelling. Mayday! Spider-Man yelled as he swung overhead as he seemed to be connected by his web to an old man that seemed to be wearing a mechanical vulture outfit. Oh no! Flying geriatrics! I knew this day would come. Hang on dude! Naruto yelled before catapulting himself after them. Who are you calling old you dash, the vulture man was saying as he turned his head to see Joy Boy. Gum gum catapult. Naruto yelled as he slammed into the vulture's side with his head causing him to slam into the side of a building and Spider-Man to land on a pole nearby. Thanks. Spider-Man said confused on what just happened. No problem. Now I just need to hide the body, Naruto said as he grabbed the knocked-out vulture. Please tell me you're kidding. He's alive so I can just web him up for the police, right? Spider-Man asked concerned. Let me see. Hey old man. Your social security check is late. Kids use curse words. Today's music is awful. Naruto said before he started to yell into the vulture's ear. Spider-Man covered his mouth at this as he tried to not laugh at this and he was failing badly. I blame the rap music, Vulture mumbled out in a daze before his eyes fully closed. Oh good he's alive, Spider-Man said relieved. Good let's drop this geriatric bird brain off with the fuzz and let's go get a pizza. I heard this area has the best pizza in the city, Naruto said with a grin. Do we drop him off with the cops or at a retirement home? Spider-Man asked with an audible smirk behind his mask. Ha! You're officially my favorite hero to team up with after Wasp. Naruto said with a grin. He liked this guy. He appreciated jokes DMN. That was hard to get with heroes today. Barring Deadpool. Hey I heard my name. Wade yelled teleporting onto the rooftop. Run away. Naruto yelled as he jumped off the rooftop with Vulture on his shoulder. Wait up. See you, Deadpool. Spider-Man yelled diving after Naruto. Oh author Sama chose the Insomniac one. Good choice though, don't replace him with the newbie. Deadpool yelled at the sky as he waved his fist. Police Department. On the rooftop of police headquarters Naruto and Spider-Man were making a report after some policemen had taken Vulture off their hands. So let me get this straight. You were attached by web to Tombs when he catapulted himself into Tombs. A female Asian police officer in a black leather jacket asked pointing a thumb at Naruto who was sitting on a railing. That about sums it up Yuri, Spider-Man said nonchalantly. I need a smoke before I deal with the paperwork for this one, Yuri groaned. Oh lighten up. You know in some circles your name means lesbians. Naruto asked before he started snickering. Get him out of here before I test how bulletproof he is, Yuri said to Spider-Man as she felt her trigger finger itch. Good luck with that. Everything is made of RBB. Naruto said pulling his cheek and stretching it. Before Yuri jabbed a taser into his eyes and pushed a button. Yow. Oh god. It's like walking in on mom and dad all over again. Naruto yelled rolling on the roof in pain. So not everything is RBB huh, Yuri said with a smirk as she put away her taser and turned around. You stabbed me you psycho. If I was into this CRP I would hang out with Logan. Naruto yelled as he rubbed his now red eyes. She left while you were rolling on the floor, Spider-Man said flatly. Gah. I'm gonna get her someday for this one. One day. I swear it. Naruto yelled. Spider-Man shook his head at this before he picked up a report on his police scanner/earpiece. Hey listen Joy Boy I gotta go. Spider-Man was saying. What's the problem? Another villain? I could use a distraction, Naruto said as he clapped his hands and jumped to his feet. Well the rhino is tearing his way up to Hell's Kitchen, Spider-Man said as he jerked a thumb toward said neighborhood. Oh DMN it, my lawyers work there. Alright, let's go kick his ass, Naruto said. What about your eyes? You were just tossed in them. Shouldn't you be going to a doctor or something? Spider-Man questioned, very confused. Nah, I'm fine. Now let's go. Naruto said before catapulting off the police station. That raises further questions. Spider-Man yelled. Hell's Kitchen. People were yelling as a giant of a man in a rhino suit was running down the street, bursting through walls and cars as he made his way through the city. Soon he was making his way toward Central Park, and his way was blocked by what looked like a young pre-teen girl wearing a demon mask and carrying a giant iron mace. Out of my way! Rhino yelled in a heavy Russian accent as he made his way towards her. But as he approached her, the iron mace suddenly turned black and she swung it hard at Rhino, smashing the giant of a man in the face. This sent off a shockwave that shattered several windows and street lights before the Rhino was sent crashing into the ground and making a massive crater below the pre-teen girl. Girl scoffed as she grabbed the Rhino's cracked horn, and with a pull she yanked it off. Well, it's not much of a souvenir, but I'll take it, the girl said. Hold it right there, Alex, what the? Spider-Man asked, seeing the giant crater. Hey, why'd you swing ahead of me, you PP? Naruto asked as he landed on a light post before seeing the crater. Oh, that's why. Wow, who kicked your ass, big guy? Shot in the dark, was it aliens? Naruto asked. It was me, you moron, and he was my warm-up. The pre-teen yelled as she walked out of the crater and grabbed her mask and ripped it off. Ah, CRP. Hey Akane. How's the village doing? Naruto said. It will be good when I take over after I beat you in battle, Akane yelled as she jumped at Naruto, her mace raised ready to take a swing at him. Wait Akane, you can have the through dash, Naruto was saying before he leapt from the street lamp and dodged the mace strike. Will you listen to me, you tiny psycho? Naruto yelled. Friend of yours? Spider-Man asked, confused on what was happening. Worse, she's my baby sister. Naruto yelled as he landed on another light post. I'm not a baby, you moron. Now fight me. Akane demanded. No way. You're my little sister. I'm supposed to protect you, not fight you. Naruto said as he shook his head. Fight me like a man, you whiny bee. Akane yelled as she stomped her foot, making the asphalt crack. Is everyone in your family insane? Spider-Man asked curiously. Nah, she's just from the same crazy tree as my mom. Naruto explained. Take that back. Mom is a kind and wonderful woman. Akane yelled out with a glare. She threatened to, and I quote, put me through that F-wall if I ate her ramen, unquote, Naruto said as he made air quotes in the air. Which was a light punishment, Akane said as she crossed her arms. I was 5. Naruto yelled out as he jumped down from the light post. Not that this isn't funny as hell, but the cops are coming to collect your little sister's first catch as a hero, Spider-Man said as he pointed out several police cars arriving. What? This weakling? In what way was he a threat? Akane said, jabbing a thumb at Rhino. He's some loser that uses his power to terrorize people, Naruto said as he shook his head. Pathetic, Akane said with a scoff. Technically he doesn't have powers. He's just trapped in a suit of armor that he can't get out of and is thought to be indestructible, Spider-Man explained. Indestructible? Ha! He could barely take a hit from my mace. He's lucky I didn't transform on him, Akane said with a laugh. Oh, here comes the press, Naruto said as he sighed as he spotted some news trucks. Miss, who are you? What is your business here? A reporter asked Akane. I'm Akane Uzumaki from Yamatora village. The rightful heir. And I'm here to beat my brother senseless. Akane said as if talking about the weather. And why did you beat up the rhino? Another reporter asked. That fool was going to destroy that park where children were playing. Also he looked at me funny, Akane explained before looking at Naruto. Now put up your dukes, brother. Akane yelled. I'm not fighting you. You're my baby sister. Naruto yelled out as he shook his head. I'm not a baby DMN. Fight me. Akane yelled as her fangs started to become more profound. No. And don't bare your fangs at me. Naruto yelled. You will fight me DMN. Akane yelled, pointing her mace at him as she transformed into what looked like a wolf woman with gray fur and what looked like lightning sparking around her. With Janet. Janet, Tony, Steve, Clint, Hulk, Hank, and Chala were in the lounge watching the news as a live report of Naruto being confronted by his little sister played. I'm not fighting my DMN sister. Naruto was heard yelling before his now wolf-like sister jumped at him trying to bite him. So do we need to find a replacement for our BB boy? Tony asked with a snicker. I'm sure he'll be fine. Siblings argue and fight all the time. I know that quite well, Chala explained. And how many fights with your siblings ended with giant craters? Clint asked flatly. 36, Chala said nonchalantly. Well, let's go save Whiskers from his sister, Clint said, ignoring Chala's answer for his own sanity. I'm sure she's a nice girl if she calms down a bit, Janet said with a chuckle as she knew pre-teen girls were excitable. Akane, no biting. Bad Akane. No treat for you. Naruto yelled, dodging more bite attacks. I'll eat your heart. Akane yelled, snarling. You sure about that? Hank asked with a deadpan tone. Let's just go help him, Janet sighed as they all left. With Amora. How dare this BRT strike at my beloved? I will end her if she lays a finger on him, Amora growled out, watching the fight from a viewing portal. That's the dope's little sister and he is very protective of her, Sasuke said as he recalled how protective of his sister Naruto was back when he was in the village. Want me to kill her? Sasuke asked curiously. Don't you dare. If this is my love's precious little sister, then she is not to be harmed. Amora yelled. Jesus Christ, you're one crazy, F in the head B. Go hop on the loser's PP already if you're that obsessed with him. Sasuke told her with a head shake while not noticing the other members of his team inching away from him. Or more specifically from Amora, as an aura of green fire surrounded her. Back at Avengers Mansion. Later at the mansion, everyone was entering the mansion after getting Naruto and Akane and making sure either didn't make a scene. Or at least more of one. Almost making a scene on the news. How else can you embarrass us? Hank asked Naruto as they all entered the main meeting hall. Well, I could ask Janet on a date. I suppose that's not really embarrassing though now that I think about it. Let me get back to you on how I'll embarrass us, Naruto said with a thinking pose as he started to walk past Hank. So this is your team's base. Not bad. A bit low tech though, Akane said looking around. Low tech. SQR, this place is equipped with the best my company has, Tony said as he looked at the pre-teen with a critical eye. Yeah, and it's low tech compared to Egghead. I mean, where's the food dispensary? Akane pointed out. Ah. Yes, Naruto has mentioned that, Chala said as he nodded. Why yeah, but it can't be any more impressive than Wakanda, Hank said. We have human cyborgs, artificial BLD and organs dash, Akane was saying till she was cut off. Say what? Hank yelled, Tony, I need to head there immediately then, Hank told the Avengers leader. Not a chance, fly man, Akane scoffed, my idiot brother may trust you but I don't and neither would our parents, Akane told him. What? But with those artificial organs and BLD you could save many lives. You could end the need for transplants. I'm with Hank on this one, Janet said as she knew that was a big achievement. Okay, tell you what, if you two are so interested, why not exchange your shrinking tech then? Your PIM particles, I believe they're called. Akane asked. Are you allowed to make that deal? Naruto asked. No, I'm making a point. Would you trust an entire nation with the science and technology of your abilities? Akane asked, looking at Hank and Janet. You are asking us to divulge classified technology without any thoughts of the harm it could cause. True, we could save many lives, but what happens when it saves lives it shouldn't? A former Nazi needing a new lung, a dictator in need of a new heart. Akane said with a firm tone, getting silence from the team. I like this one, Hulk said with a smirk. She has crazy eyes, Clint said as he scowled. Your sister is scary, Janet said looking towards Naruto. Yeah, what pre-teen acts like this? She should be hanging out with friends or something, Tony said as he looked at Naruto. I don't associate with weaklings. And my time is better spent towards the affairs of my future rule. Speaking of brother, fight me. Akane yelled as she turned to look at her brother. I said I'm not fighting you. You want the DMN throne, you can have it. I don't want the DMN position. Naruto yelled. Say what? Akane asked, raising an eyebrow at this. I've been trying to say that for years. Mom just wanted me to take the DMN position, but a throne would suit me ill. I don't want to be tied down. I wish to be free to explore. Free to be myself. Free to help others. I've always thought you'd be better for the job than me if you could just get it out of your head, the longing to be the best and strongest. A leader who does not get to know their people is doomed to lead it into ruin. You showed you weren't ready, so Mom named me heir, but I never wanted the throne. Naruto told her, by Mito, I've been trying to tell you for years and every time you just dropkick me in the face. Naruto sighed out. So you don't want the throne? Akane asked. Of course not. I left to be free and help people that need help. Naruto explained. So you helping people is what makes you stronger? Akane asked curiously as she raised an eyebrow. Yes. A person is truly strong when they have people they want to protect. Be it someone with a close tie to them or just a random person they see in need of help, Naruto explained. Okay, I'm staying here, Akane said with a determined gaze. Oh geez, Tony said as he slapped his forehead as he had an idea what this pre-teen was thinking. Naruto yelled as his eyes bugged out a bit. Mom always told me you were more suited for the throne. Because of that I threw myself into training to be the strongest. To be the best. But now I'm seeing a new path. So I'm gonna stay here and find out what she meant. And when the time comes I'll prove myself worthy of the title of ruler. And don't worry brother, I won't revoke your royal privileges once that happens. Seems like you need them, Akane said with a smirk. Royal privileges? Clint asked with a raised eyebrow. No need to get into that, Naruto said with a nervous chuckle as his teammates looked at him. Akane, would you mind telling us the royal privileges your brother gets? Janet asked with a smile. He didn't tell you. As an Uzumaki male he is allowed multiple women to take on as wives so long as they prove worthy to the royal family. I assumed he mentioned that given the comments the green-skinned lady mentioned on TV. Mother approves of her by the way, Akane said to Naruto, who was red in the face with embarrassment. Dear Penthouse Forum, Tony said with a chuckle at this as this was hilarious. I had heard this was the case in your village. I just didn't think it was true or still in practice, Chala said to Naruto. It's not very common even amongst Uzumaki. Only a few males in the history of our village even used the perk. And even then the highest number of wives they had was 6-inch. Naruto sighed out. Multiple wives, Janet growled with a twitching eye. Why does the weakling care? Akane asked, seeing Janet's anger. Weakling? Now listen here you little BRT. Let me go you man where? Janet was yelling before Naruto grabbed her from behind, stopping her from approaching Akane. Whoa girl. You don't want to tango with my sister. She makes most of the SHT we faced look like sunshine and rainbows. Naruto warned her seriously. Don't care. She's getting in as whooping. Janet yelled, gnashing her teeth in a rage while Naruto held her back. Well, if you're gonna stay young lady you should know there are rules you will need to follow, Steve said as he approached her. Let me guess. Don't kill the weaklings I come across. Don't destroy the interior of this shabby manor and don't cause issues with the rest of you on the team or some nonsense. Am I mistaken? Akane asked boredly. Shabby. Tony yelled out insulted. Oh, and the dinosaur outside is your brother's pet. A voice was heard from the ceiling making them look up at the chandelier to see Deadpool hanging from it while holding a camcorder. DMN it Wade, I told you no entering the premises. How did you get past Jarvis? Naruto yelled. Maximum effort. And a lot of silly string. Deadpool yelled with a laugh. Who is this buffoon? Akane asked with a raised eyebrow. A nuisance. Tony said, very irritated. So I can attack him and make him leave? Akane asked as she grinned her mace. Go nuts kid. Jarvis, record this please, Tony said as he smiled in realization. Delighted sir, Jarvis said with an amused tone as Akane turned into her hybrid wolf mode. Stay back Yamato Jr. Stay back and I'll give you a nice tennis ball. Wade yelled, holding up a tennis ball. Akane barked as she pounced at Wade, swinging her mace at the mad merc, and before he teleported out of the way, causing Akane to smash the ceiling with her mace. Nope. I'm not fighting Marvel Kaido Jr. Deadpool yelled as he appeared by the door. How did you avoid me? My observation hockey should have predicted you. Akane growled as she landed on the ground. You can't predict what even I don't know what I'm doing. Anyone want tacos? You big guy. Deadpool asked the Hulk. Wade, you may heal but my sister knows how to inflict pain, so I would run, Naruto said as he continued to hold Janet back. Okie dokie. I have an appointment with old Statch Face. He will pay a fortune for this information about your HRM privileges. Deadpool yelled as he waved his camcorder. Naruto froze at this as he figured that Deadpool was talking about Jonah. Akane, kill him, he yelled in a panic. That's the plan. Come here you dumb SHT. Akane yelled before pouncing once more at Deadpool, who saluted as he teleported away, causing her to destroy the front door of the mansion. Your parents are paying for that, Tony said with an annoyed tone at the two Uzumaki siblings. DMN it. The one time I'm okay with you being a bloodhound and you screw it up. Naruto yelled at his sister. What does it matter? The Uzumaki privilege is known to everyone in the village. Why would him knowing make you so uneasy? Akane asked, uncaring as she switched to her human form. That moron's gonna expose said privilege to the DMN world. Naruto yelled, irritated. And the point being? Akane asked, still uncaring. Big guy, can you take Jan here? I need to go blow off some steam with a patrol, Naruto requested with a twitching eyebrow. That weakling would not be able to do anything to me, brother. You know that already, Akane scoffed. It's not you I'm worried about, Naruto grumbled as Hulk grabbed Janet. Akane raised an eyebrow at this before she looked at Janet and narrowed her eyes as she looked at her. You really did fall for this weakling, didn't you, brother? Akane stated, more than asked, as Janet clawed towards her angrily. And what if I did? Who I fall for is my heart's choice. Naruto yelled before realizing what he just said. CRP, Naruto groaned as Janet paused in her attempted escape. Jarvis, please tell me you got that, Tony said as he smirked. Already uploaded to your private files, sir, Jarvis said. This day cannot possibly get any worse, Naruto groaned out with his head in his hands. With Amora. AHRM. I should be the only one for my beloved. Me and me alone. He does not need anyone else, Amora growled angrily as she looked at the image of the team via a magic view portal she was using. You really have some issues, lady. Like serious F issues, Sasuke deadpanned. Be silent, runt. Or I'll have you disemboweled. Amora growled out angrily. You wanna try something, B? Bring it, Sasuke said as darkness surrounded him. Enough. You two are the main leaders of this group when I am not present. Do not fail me, a male voice said, making the two stop their potential clash. Of course, my lord, Amora said as she bowed her head. Whatever. Just remember to keep your end of the deal. I get Yamatora village and you all can have your share of the world. But that place is mine to rule, Sasuke said as his darkness faded. Yes, though I must say what I'm hearing about your village is quite interesting for a mortal village, the horned figure said with a smirk. You want some of the tech, by all means we'll negotiate it when I'm in charge. And she can keep the loser and whatever wares he desires to herself for all, but that village is mine by right to rule. It's time for an Uchiha to take the throne denied to us, Sasuke said as he walked away, getting a frown from the horned figure and a glare from Amora. You will watch your tone around Lord Loki, child. He is far above mortals like you, Amora warned him. And yet you claim to love a mortal. All that power at your fingertips and you're obsessed with a mortal nowadays. Sasuke said with a smirk. Ha! I like this mortal. He has a sharp tongue. Reminds me of me, only far less impressive compared to yours truly, the now revealed Loki said with a smirk. TCH, whatever. Just remember our deal and stay out of my way. Sasuke said before walking off, leaving the rest of the team alone. With Naruto. Oh god, I'm so screwed, Naruto groaned as he had left the Avengers mansion to go on a small patrol to clear his head, as Jonah had launched a late-night podcast episode detailing the perks he got as an Uzumaki of Yamatora village from Deadpool, which was currently trending on all social media platforms and news outlets in America. Hell, probably beyond at this point. Currently Naruto was in Hell's Kitchen on a rooftop looking down at the city. Rhino's earlier attacks had caused a lot of damage in the area before Akane stopped him, so if crimes were likely to happen it would be in this neighborhood. Currently Naruto was sitting on a rooftop sharing a pizza with Spider-Man. And not only did Wade just F me over, but now Akane's staying with Janet, who just admitted to having full-on feelings for. Yeah, I need to bash someone's face in tonight, Naruto groaned as that was gonna be a conversation that would need to occur. Wow, and I thought my life was hectic, Spider-Man said with a wince as he finished his slice of pizza. Yeah, I could imagine that, Peter. Naruto said with a shrug. This caused Spider-Man to start to choke on his pizza. What? He asked, coughing. Interesting thing about my observation hockey, thanks to it, that secret identity CRP doesn't work on me. Also, I see you bail constantly from FAST and you don't exactly hide your voice in costume, Naruto said nonchalantly. You are way more observant than people give you credit for, Peter admitted with a sigh. And that's why the villains always lose to me. They don't take me seriously and they get hurt for it. Ask Abomination how that worked out for him, Naruto suggested as he snickered. Oh yeah, I saw the footage of that fight with your bounceman, you called it? Peter asked. Yup, though that's just one variant of Gear 4. I have one that's more offensive and speed-based. I have been wanting to try, Naruto said with a smile. More offensive than punching a giant gamma monster through the sky? Peter asked incredulously. Bounce Man is raw power. Think of it this way, that form was the Hulk, this new variant is more Black Panther or Captain America styled. Naruto explained as he ate his slice of pizza. Ah, I get it, more combat-oriented instead of overwhelming power. Peter said with a nod. Yup. Anyways, thanks for hearing me out on this. Sometimes you just need to vent, Naruto said with a smile. It's cool, hope things work out with Janet, from what I can tell she's good for you, Peter said with a wave of his hand. We'll see. She wasn't exactly thrilled about my status perks. Anyways, I'm gonna hang around this part of the city for a patrol, so if you want to get some sleep or take another part to patrol, feel free to, dude, Naruto said as he stood up, cracking his neck. You sure you don't want the help? Peter asked. Nah. I should be fine. Go rest up, Naruto said before catapulting off the building. As Naruto swung around the city, he used his observation haki to keep an eye out for anyone suspicious, and soon he felt something going on in a back alleyway. Of course, Naruto sighed as he swung himself towards the back alleyway. Soon he spotted what looked like several men in ninja attire attacking a woman with long black hair while wearing a red kunoichi outfit like leotard, who was attacking them with a pair of sai. Ninjas in New York. SHT, what's next? Cowboys? Naruto asked, getting the action to pause as the ninjas and the woman turned their attention to him. The one we seek has revealed himself, a ninja said before holding up a ninjato, Joy Boy of the Avengers. The hand requests your presence, the lewd ninja said before ducking under a stab from the woman with sais. The hand? Seriously? That's the best you guys came up with? You guys sound like a shitty techno band, Naruto scoffed. Enough of your foolishness. One of the ninjas yelled as he took out some throwing stars. Oh no, my weakness. Shuriken. No, how could you, sucker punch? Naruto was saying as he pretended to be scared before he suddenly threw a punch stretching his arm and slugged the ninja's face, sending him flying into the alleyway wall. Now who's next? Naruto asked the other ninjas, cracking his neck before he watched the lady in red leap over a ninja and jab her sais into his eyes while he was distracted and ripped them out on her landing next to him. Was that necessary? Naruto asked. They are trained killers. If you are not going to help, then leave. They are after you after all, the woman said as she held up her sais. And leave you to fight them alone. Not my style, miss, Naruto said as he dodged a few swipes from a ninja's tanto before he slugged them in the chin. I was doing fine before your interference, the woman said as she ran along the wall of the alleyway to dodge a sword slash from a ninja only to leap onto another ninja and stab him through the throat with her sais. You are still outnumbered. Plus I'm not gonna just leave now that I know you're fighting and killing a group of ninjas, Naruto said as he used his hockey-coated hands to catch a sword in between them and snap it in two. So it's true you are soft-hearted with women, it seems, the woman said as she sliced a ninja's throat open. Gah! I am nice to everyone, DMN it. Naruto yelled as he punched a ninja hard, sending him flying before he was embedded into a brick wall. Impressive. If a bit soft in execution, the woman said before she jabbed her sais into the last ninja's spine from behind just as he was taking aim at Naruto with some shuriken. Naruto growled at this before he noticed more ninjas gathering above them on a rooftop. Oh, for F's sake. It would seem they were waiting for you to show up before either of us showed up, the woman said flatly. F this. I have had a bad enough day. Naruto yelled as he unleashed a burst of Conqueror's Haki on the group of ninjas as they jumped down at them. Before they even hit the ground, the ninjas all fell prone onto the floor, littering the alleyway with unconscious ninjas. Interesting, the woman said as she twirled her sai and put them away on her sides. Now that they're taken care of, who are you? It's not every day that some appealing woman in a CC red outfit gets attacked by ninjas in New York, Naruto said before the woman suddenly pushed him against a wall. You do not need to know who I am. Just do not get in my way again, she warned him with a glare. Or I could help you, seeing as they're after me for some bullshit reason. If you have beef with them, it'd make more sense to team up, Naruto said as he looked at the woman unflinching. So you do have a brain, the woman said as she let him go. The hand have an international presence and do work on occasion for Wilson Fisk, the woman said. The legitimate businessman? Naruto asked as he did air quotes in the air as he had heard rumors about this guy. Yes. I wish to end his association with them. Permanently. The woman said as she gave a killing stare. Not that I'm against killing if it comes down to me or them, but I don't exactly do that willy-nilly, Naruto said. Then you will only slow me down, the woman said. Well, hold on, I have a friend or two that could help with finding information on this guy. What if Fisk was put away in jail and made useless to the hand? Naruto asked curiously. He will not stay jailed long, but it may damage them for a time. Very well, but know this, any hand agents I find will die. Whether you assist or not, the woman said. Fair enough, but anyone else you don't kill, otherwise I'll stop you, Naruto said firmly. Very well, you may call me Electra. We will see each other again soon, Joy Boy, Electra said as she ran over to a fire escape and started to climb up it to the rooftop. Friends call me Naruto, you know, Naruto yelled after her. You often make friends with dangerous people that wouldn't hesitate to put a blade to your throat. Electra questioned as she reached the top of the roof and looked down at Naruto. You know, in retrospect I do that a lot, Naruto admitted. Elektra chuckled at this before she ran off, leaving Naruto alone. I blame mom and dad for my attraction to women that could kill me, Naruto sighed to himself before heading back to the mansion. He'd deal with the fallout from this tomorrow. China. How does your treatment feel, Shimura? Dr. Doom asked Danzo as he trailed behind him as they walked up a trail high in the mountains. Danzo now had a robotic arm and a cybernetic eye. I am slowly recovering, my lord. I haven't felt this strong in ages. But I know I am not yet ready for combat with the village denizens. Danzo said. Which isn't part of the plan yet, Shimura. Now tell me, why have you asked me to bring you to China? Speak quickly or I may lose my patience, Doom ordered. We are here to help you gain a power to combat the village. Tales have told within the village of a being who bestowed onto us our use of haki. A dragon of absolute power. Kenzo explained. Yes, you have mentioned this before. So this dragon helped found your village? Doom asked. Yes, from what the tale says he was a leader of absolute power before he was driven away by Mito Uzumaki and others. She became the first Uzumaki to lead us, and over time they have always been in power. Danzo explained. And you have been keeping tabs on this dragon with your technology ever since? Doom asked. Indeed. Just in case he ever made his way back to Japan and we had to mobilize our forces. But he hasn't left these mountains in millennia. Danzo explained. And you think he would help us to take over the village? Doom asked. From what the tales say, he has always held a grudge against the village, and I'm sure if you reason with him, he would be a powerful ally to our cause. Mstr, Danzo said with a bow. Doom said nothing to this as they approached a cave inside of the mountain. As they entered they heard some growling and soon they saw some glowing eyes on the darkness. I feel your power, Yamatoran. Leave now before you are consumed by the mighty Fin Fong Fum, a booming male voice yelled out as a large green dragon approached them. Snarling. Doom said nothing to this as he stepped forward. We have come to seek an alliance with you to bring about a new rule within the village, you despise dragon. What say you? Doom asked, only getting the dragon to snarl at him. I have no interest in helping one of the villagers' descendants who chased me off. You are wasting my time, Fum said as he growled at Doom. Very well then. If you cannot be persuaded, Doom said as he suddenly raised his hands, which suddenly fired some magic aura at the dragon, engulfing it in a green energy as it flailed in agony. Suddenly a magic pulse hit, shooting up a dust storm that Danzo covered his eyes for before the dust settled. Doom stood alone looking at his hand. So this is your power, it is intoxicating, Doom said as he felt all of Fum's knowledge on haki enter his mind. What did you take from him, Mstr? Danzo asked as he held up his lantern to look at his Mstr. Doom said nothing as his body changed and he towered over Danzo as a giant metallic scaled dragon. Everything, Doom said before laughing in glee at the power within him. With this power all would kneel before Doom. The village. The world. Susan Storm. All would be his. He could just taste it. As Doom laughed, he and Danzo didn't notice a painting on the cave of what looked like a man jumping across the sun laughing as he held a spear, and as he leapt what looked like an image of Fum was flying away from him. Streets of New York City. It was an overall average day in New York. The sun was shining. Birds were flying. A man-sized green tornado was ripping through traffic, sending cars flying away as people abandoned their cars and taxis to avoid the chaos. Okay, maybe not such an average day now. As this green tornado tore through New York traffic, a shrunken Janet flew after this tornado. Whirlwind. Boy, did I miss you. But man, you're not so smart. I mean, you get beat up by me, go to jail, break out of jail, and then you come back here. Everybody knows this is where I shop. Janet yelled, chasing after the man-sized tornado from the streets into a construction yard where Whirlwind halted his escape. So here's the real question. Why do you like prison so much? Janet asked, flying in front of Whirlwind, who said nothing. Just stared at her, making her frown. Whirlwind. Dave? Not feeling chatty today? Janet asked before he was enveloped in green smoke, making Janet fly back a step, as where once stood Whirlwind now stood the voluptuous Enchantress Amora. Smirking at the Wasp. Enchantress, Janet said as she narrowed her eyes as she got prepared to fight. I don't know what you're up to, but get ready to dash, Janet was saying before she was cut off as Crimson Dynamo landed behind her. A yellow portal then opened up as the executioner stepped out of it, created by his axe. Janet gasped in shock even more as Simon, the somehow revived Wonder Man in a giant form, stomped his way to her, making her fly back, bumping into Abomination as she was surrounded by these enemies. What? You think I'm just gonna give up? Janet asked with narrowed eyes as she readied her stingers. Black Vortex. A voice cut her off as she was suddenly pulled into the grip of Sasuke standing behind her, who glared at her. So this is the bee you keep complaining about, Enchantress? Sasuke asked as he held Janet in his grip. Makes me question who's more pathetic, her or you, Sasuke said as Baron Zemo walked beside him holding his energy pistol. Hello again, Miss Van Dyne, Zemo greeted before pulling the trigger and knocking out Wasp with his energy blaster, who remained in Sasuke's grip as she fell unconscious. One down, Zemo said, holstering his gun. Meanwhile with Naruto, he was downtown sitting on a rooftop looking over the nearby docks. Are you sure your contact's information is reliable? Elektra asked as she looked at the docks through a pair of binoculars. Hey, my friend Murdoch got me community service for slugging a senator. I'm pretty sure he can handle getting information on where the rumored mill says Fat Boy keeps some of his warehouses, Naruto said as he looked at Elektra. Did you say Murdoch? As in Matt Murdock? Elektra asked as she looked at Naruto. That's him, a pretty good lawyer. Nice guy too. Also very aware of his surroundings despite being blind, Naruto said as he smiled. We dated. Elektra told him with a frown. Oh. What can I say to remove the awkwardness? Naruto asked as he rubbed the back of his head. You can't. It's awkward, Akane said, announcing her presence behind the two adults. Goddamn it. You need a bell. Naruto yelled at his sister. You didn't know she was there? Elektra asked with a raised eyebrow as she had her sayus out pointed towards Akane the whole time. And you need better observation, Haki, and don't point that at me if you don't want me to take it and shove it somewhere you won't like, Akane said to Naruto before she looked at Elektra with a hard look. I was waiting for you to approach before I stabbed out your eyes. I just assumed he knew as well and was waiting to tell me when, Elektra said as she glared at Akane. She's not one of Fat Boy's or the Hands. She's my little sister. What are you even doing here, Akane? Naruto informed Elektra before looking at his sister. Stark threw me out after I trashed the front yard playing with Devil Dinosaur. He said to go bother you or Thor or someone named Legolas, Akane explained. Legolas is a nickname for Hawkeye, Akane. Haven't you read Lord of the Rings or seen the movies? Naruto asked as he sighed. Why would I waste time reading when I can train to crush in my enemies' skulls? Akane asked with a quirked eyebrow. Even mom and dad relax sometimes, you psycho runt, Naruto groaned as he pinched the bridge of his nose. If your sister is strong-willed enough to insult you, then she can help us with taking out the Kingpin's men. So long as you trust her enough to not get in the way, Elektra said. Please, I'll crush those pests easily. Now do you need them dead or alive? Akane asked. Alive, though feel free to scare them, they are career criminals and could use a good scare, Naruto said with a smile. Alive? Boring. Akane groaned out as Elektra looked at her with a smirk. I like her. She has her priorities right, Elektra said. You know the rules, if they aren't the Hand then we leave them alive for the police, Naruto reminded her. Fine. You heard your weak-willed sibling. No killing no matter how easy it'd be, Elektra said with a scowl. Oi. It's not weak to show mercy, so drop the attitude, woman. I'm not above hitting a woman no matter how hot she is. Naruto yelled as he glared at Elektra. Is she one of your concubines, brother? I must admit I approve of her methods, Akane said, looking at Electra appraisingly. That nonsense Jameson was reporting is true? Electra asked with a raised eyebrow as she looked at Naruto. Gee, thanks, Akane. Naruto rolled his eyes before seeing Akane was gone. She's gone. She ran off towards the docks, Electra explained as they heard the sounds of a wolf howling and electricity going off before what sounded like men yelling in pain was heard coming from the docks. My leg, a man yelled out in pain. Ah, CRP, it's just like the teriyaki chicken incident again. Only far less castration, Naruto groaned out as the two went down to help Akane. What exactly is she? Electra asked curiously as she watched Akane attack a squad of Kingpin's men with her claws while in her hybrid form while ignoring what Naruto said. She's a mythical creature, a divine wolf called Okuchi no Makami. Naruto said before stretching his arm and slugging a man in the face, knocking him out. And yet you only have RBB powers. Seems like you got the short end of the stick, Electra said as she leapt onto a man and wrapped her legs around the man's neck, choking him out. Best death ever, the man groaned as he passed out. Can I please finish him? Or at very least take his eyes and tongue, Electra asked, gritting her teeth. You can stomp him in the nuts. Naruto told her, making Electra do so with gusto. Ugh, harder, mommy. The man groaned out in his passed-out state as if mumbling in his sleep. Okay, now I'm killing him, Electra growled out, holding up her sais. Focus, we have company. Akane yelled as her observation haki was going off. Huh? Naruto asked before he leapt into the air to avoid a crate being thrown at him. So you're Joy Boy of the Avengers? A man in a leather jacket with pale skin asked as he made his presence known. Who's the zombie? Naruto asked, confused. Lonnie Lincoln. Aka Tombstone. Small-time gang leader. Immune to physical damage, Electra said, recognizing the newcomer. Is that a fact? Let's test that theory, Akane said as she cracked her knuckles at this. Kingpin offered me a bundle to give his docs extra protection. But I don't have any problem having your bee fixed if she attacks me, Joy Boy. Besides, you're the one I want to fight here, Tombstone said with a grin. B? Did he just call me a bee? Akane asked with a twitching eyebrow. Oh, CRP. Akane, calm down. Naruto groaned as Akane started to let off Conqueror's haki in spades and her animal form started to become way more feral looking and lightning started to come off her at a rapid pace. I'll kill you. Akane roared out before dashing at Tombstone and slashing her haki-coated claw into his face. Drawing BLD. You actually cut my face. Tombstone yelled out in shock as he held his face to try and stop the bleeding. And you're gonna scream like a bee. Akane yelled before she tackled the man into a shipping container and started clawing into him. Ripping and tearing into his clothes and flesh. Okay, Akane, I don't think he can fight now. Plus, don't you think using your awakened form is overkill? Naruto asked as he approached his little sister. You want some of this? Akane roared as she looked up at her brother Tombstone's jacket hanging from her fangs. If you attack me, then no ramen for a month for you, young lady, Naruto told his sister firmly, who started to growl as she turned back to her human form. Girl, I want ice cream. Akane yelled as she walked away from a bleeding Tombstone. You alive? Naruto asked as he approached the gangster. So this is Pain. I want a rematch at some point with her, Tombstone said with a bloody grin, laughing and coughing up BLD. She just ripped you to pieces and you want a rematch? Naruto asked, baffled. It's all about the thrill, Joy Boy. The threat of death ups it even more, Tombstone chuckled out. If you want a thrill, wouldn't you get more out of fighting bad guys rather than work for assholes like Fisk? Naruto questioned. Bad? Good? Who cares about right and wrong? Good and evil? It's the thrill of the fight and how you fight. The whos and whys don't mean CRP, Tombstone told him with a grin. I'm sure you didn't used to think that way, didn't you used to have some kind of dream before you were like this? Naruto asked curiously. At one point. Yeah, I wanted to open up a chain of garages in the city and give jobs to people in my neighborhood. That dream died the moment I became this as a kid though, Tombstone admitted. Who says that dream has to stay dead? The only way dreams die is when you do nothing to make them come true. The dreams of those willing to risk everything to make them come true will never end, Naruto told him with a smile. Hey, I think you missed your calling as a motivational speaker, kid. Tombstone admitted with a chuckle. Hey, when you get out I look forward to you trying to chase your dream. No matter what it brings you, Naruto said with a smile before he heard clapping. Bravo! A wonderful speech from the idiot prince, Naruto, Akane, and Electra turned to see Sasuke standing in a pile of crates. Oh good, the Uchiha runt of the litter. I thought you were dead. I was gonna hold a party for your Bia's funeral. Even had a tombstone and everything. It said he should have been the juices his mom ate, Akane told him with a scowl while Electra held out her sayas towards him. Watch your tongue, Uzumaki tramp. I have no interest in you but your brother, Sasuke said as he dropped down from the crates and landed in front of them. Tramp. Akane growled out, her fangs showing. Akane, don't. Naruto yelled, but it was too late as Sasuke held up his hand and suddenly Akane shot at him, and when he grabbed her he slammed her hard into the ground, making a crater beneath him. Too easy, Sasuke said with a smirk as he held up the knocked out Akane, who was now in her human form, before he kicked her into a green portal which appeared in front of him. Akane. You're gonna pay for that, you bstrd. Naruto yelled, glaring at Sasuke. It's not my fault she has a big head just cause her power has awakened, dope. Besides, she'll be fine. She's still in the docks. You're the one I'm here for, Sasuke told him. Electra, get Tombstone out of here and go find my sister, Naruto said, walking towards Sasuke with a glare. If you think I'm leaving you, Electra was saying before Naruto cut her off. I said do it. Naruto yelled as he let loose some conjure's haki which caused his body to spark lightly with black and red lightning. Fine. Don't die on me. You hear me? Electra told him before she ran over to Tombstone and picked him up before leaving. You're getting stronger, dope, you might actually be worth a real fight for me now, Sasuke said as he took note of Naruto's haki. Fight you? No. I'm gonna tear you apart for laying a hand on my sister, Naruto told him with a glare. You sure you want to do that? That's not exactly a hero move, dope. Besides, I'm not the one you should worry about here, Sasuke told him with a smirk. Huh? Naruto questioned before his body suddenly stopped, surrounded by green energy. What the hell is this? Naruto yelled at Sasuke. You've done your part, Uchiha. You may go, Amora said as she appeared in green smoke before Naruto with a grin. Fine with me. He and I can finish this later. Word of advice, don't let her access any of your holes, dope, Sasuke said with a chuckle as he walked through a green portal. So what does the CC, leggy blonde chick who mind-controlled my unjolly green giant friend want with me? Wait, let me guess, you want me to set you up with Thor, right? Naruto asked. Amora smiled as she approached Naruto and placed her arms around Naruto's neck. Oh geez, Naruto said as he recognized the look in Amora's eyes thanks to Jennifer. I no longer have interest in the god of thunder, beloved. I have a much greater interest in you. What do you say? You can leave Midgard behind and be with me. Just the two of us ruling over our own realm together, Amora said, running a finger under his chin. Pass. Naruto said as he shook his head rapidly at this. What? Amora asked wide-eyed at Naruto rejecting her. Not that I'm not flattered, but this is my home and I like helping people. It makes me feel like I have purpose, plus I like my freedom. And lastly, I've met you only once before now and you were an enemy. Not exactly eager to trust you. Especially seeing as you're running around with the D as emo and the Renaissance Fair reject, Naruto pointed out. But I helped you. I gave you your pet dinosaur you wanted from that savage land. Amora yelled at him. Wait, that was you? Naruto questioned. Yes, I gave you your heart's longing. I can give you whatever your heart desires. Even those other women as pets for us. Amora told him. Hey! They are my friends, so watch it. Naruto yelled at her with a glare. Pets. Friends, what difference does it make? Amora shrugged. Haven't you ever had a friend? Naruto asked curiously as he raised an eyebrow curiously. A person to trust who will betray you in the end anyways. I think not, Amora said with a scowl. Huh, you must have met some assholes before, 'cause I don't do that, Naruto said simply. It matters not. I will be taking you with me to where the rest of your team is, and then we can discuss our future together. I hope you like satin sheets, Amora said before she suddenly ducked under some sais thrown at her. Who dares? Amora growled out in a rage. I dare you, crazy bee. Electra yelled from a stack of crates. DMN it, woman, I told you to find Akane. Naruto yelled before a loud roar cut him off. I did, Electra smirked at this. Amora looked up at the sky and froze as she saw Akane in her full divine wolf form pouncing at her. Hands off my brother, you bee. Only I get to kill him. Akane roared out as she brought her claws down on Enchantress, who leapt out of the way, breaking her concentration on Naruto's paralysis. How dare you? I would never kill my beloved. You heartless beast. Amora yelled. Eh? Akane asked, genuinely confused. I second that. What? Electra asked, also confused. I'll be back, beloved. Soon we'll be together. I need help ending this heartless creature you're related to first. Amora yelled before disappearing in green smoke. And I thought Jennifer was bad, Naruto groaned as he ran his hand through his hair. What the F just happened? Akane asked her brother, turning back into human form. Apparently one of Thor's rogues gallery likes me a lot. Naruto said, honestly baffled at this whole thing. Do you think Ka-san would approve of her? Akane asked Naruto with a raised eyebrow. She's not finding out about this one, and before you start I will buy you as much Haagen-Dazs as it takes to silence you, Naruto said as he looked at his sister. Deal, Kane said as she slightly drooled at this offer. I think you two should figure out what she meant by the rest of your team being captured, Electra said as she went to pick up her sais. That's next on my list though, thanks for the assist, Electra. Naruto told her with a smile. Don't thank me. You're helping me out with my mission. I need you alive so it gets completed. Electra said as she started to walk away. Nope, I always thank my friends, Naruto said firmly as he crossed his arms, making Electra pause in her tracks before she continued walking away from the Uzumaki siblings. I think you're winning that one over, brother. Which is good, she has good birthing peach for future heirs, Akane told him. What the F? Why is that normal for you to say? Naruto yelled at his sister. What? I refuse to have children. So you will need to pass on our family legacy. Akane said simply. Yeah, 'cause every guy your age is scared of your crazy ass, Naruto told her with a deadpan tone. Akane barked at Naruto as she switched to her half-breed form at this, clearly upset at him. Okay. Okay. I crossed a line. I'm sorry, I'm sure there's a guy out there for you, Naruto held up his hands in surrender. Perhaps somewhere out there, but regardless we have more pressing matters, Akane said as she calmed herself. She's right, you know, a voice said as the two looked up to see Clint on the ramp of a Quinjet hovering over them. We saw Thor and the others get taken. They're all held captive in the mansion. Except Hulk. He got portaled to another dimension. We're going to pick up him in Wakanda for backup. Want a lift? Clint asked the two. Thanks Clint, Naruto said as he used his stretching arms to lift himself up into the jet along with Akane. No problem, just promise me you're not gonna freak out that your pet Dino was captured too, Clint told them. What? Naruto and Akane yelled together, both clearly upset at this information. Get your revenge later. We need Pym for now, Chala said, flying the Quinjet away towards Wakanda. You guys have a game plan, and who all attacked us? Naruto asked, taking a calming breath. Baron Zemo is leading a group consisting of Abomination, Crimson Dynamo, Wonder Man, Executioner, Enchantress, and Sasuke Uchiha, Clint informed him as he pulled up a small hologram projector of each named villain. Wonder Man. Simon's alive? Naruto asked in shock as he thought he was dead. Why would you care if a villain is alive? Akane asked curiously. It was a misunderstanding and we failed to save him, Naruto told her with a frown. He looks like a knockoff Logia. Bet Itachi would kick his ass in a straight powers fight, Akane said, looking at Wonder Man. Kid, he's a guy who was forced into a bad situation by his brother, and I'm gonna guess it's the same situation here considering one of them uses magic, Clint said as he had read the files on Wonder Man and knew the whole story since Tony wrote it up. As a reminder of his failure to save him. We can figure out a plan for him with Hank. Let's get him and worry about how we're gonna save our team, Naruto said, steering the conversation to the task at hand. I may have a plan, but we will need Ant-Man with us, so I'd much rather say it when we're all together, Chala said as he steered the Quinjet. Great, the narc, Akane said with a groan, as since she had got here Hank had been bugging her about the rules. At least Steve was more understanding and Tony didn't really bug her. Him asking constantly about their home's technology wasn't helping either. Narc? Ha! Naruto asked before he started to laugh, making his sister smirk. Hey, lay off the guy. If you're gonna mock him, at least do it to his face, Clint said with a smirk. We do, Akane said with a smile. Yeah, why do you think he's getting a bald spot? Stress is the #1 cause, Naruto said with a smike. Oh. So it's not you getting close with Janet, Clint asked with a smirk. Akane snorted in laughter at this while Naruto frowned at this. Okay, look, I may rib on the guy, but he kept ignoring her in favor of his science experiments. I would have honestly backed off if Janet hadn't started to show some interest in me because he kept ignoring her. Naruto told Clint. I think she just settled for you personally, Akane said with a bored tone of voice. You still think she's too weak for me? Akane, there's more to life than power and strength. They aren't the only traits that define a person, Naruto admonished his sister. TCH. Until she proves her worth, I'll consider her a pet for you at best, Akane told him with a scoff, getting a glare from Naruto. Before you two have some crazy sibling brawl in here, we should get Pym, Clint said as the Quinjet entered Africa. Later, Avengers Mansion. The Masters of Evil were gathered around the Avengers Mansion. Executioner was patrolling for intruders with Wonder Man while the rest were in the briefing room watching over their captives. So this is the dope spy he likes. Sasuke said, looking over Janet from next to Amora. I don't see the appeal, he admitted. It matters not. My beloved has interest in her, therefore she will be unharmed just like him and his sister, Amora told him with a stern tone of voice. When can I kill Stark? Dynamo asked from his suit. Patience, Dynamo. The time will come, Zemo told him. What sort of game is this, Enchantress? You think I shall let you harm my comrades and be your SLV? Thor asked, glaring from the table he was strapped to. Not at all, Thunderer. I have a new love interest in your handsome RBB friend. What we had was special, but my heart now beats for him, Amora sighed out blissfully. I do believe I owe Joyboy a feast of ramen along with my condolences, Thor said, wide-eyed at this reveal. This got a snort from Sasuke as he smirked. You dodged a bullet, Thunder God. Too bad you won't live long enough to enjoy it, Sasuke told him. Your darkness won't defeat me, Uchiha. I am of Asgardian BLD. And I will never lose to someone as vile and wretched as you, Thor spoke up with a glare. Sasuke glared at this before he made some darkness in his hands. Let's test that, shall we? Sasuke asked, wanting nothing more than to crush this buffoon into an endless void of pain and agony before a hole broke open in the ceiling. My ceiling! Tony yelled, irritated at the giant hole. F off, Stark will pay you back, Akane said as she, Naruto, Clint, and Chala dropped down into the room. And our final guests have arrived. Come to save your teammates? Zemo asked with a condescending tone as he drew his sword. So you do have a little sister, eh? The perfect shield, Abomination asked as he got an idea to use her as a shield against Joy Boy and ran over to her to grab her. That's your big plan? Use my sister as a shield? You might be the dumbest son of AB I've ever met, Blonsky, Naruto said flatly. Big talk RBB freak. Let's see you hit me. No, oh god, she's rabid. Abomination was saying before he saw Akane transform into her half form and jumped on him and started to bite at him with her fangs. No ripping out his throat, sis, Naruto said simply. Dope. It's time for us to finish our little showdown finally, Sasuke said. That's fine with me, I have been wanting to test something out, and you are just as good a target as anyone here, Naruto said as he held out Haki and fused his arm and blew some air into it. That stupid bounce man form. Don't make me laugh. Sasuke yelled at him irritated. Naruto, be careful. Janet yelled from her restraints. Trust me, January. I got this. Gear forth. Naruto yelled as smoke filled the area, making everyone raise an eyebrow as the smoke took on a snake-like shape before it dissipated. Revealing his arms and legs had only moderately expanded, unlike with Bounce Man, as his hair stood up in a long and wavy form. As if his hair were flames, Snake Man. Naruto yelled, looking towards Sasuke. That's it? Not really impressive, RBB boy dash, Dynamo was saying before. Python. Naruto shouted, shooting his fist out. Suddenly what looked like a stretching fist was ricocheting all over the place, hitting the walls and getting faster and faster before it slammed into Dynamo's helmet, not only sending him flying but shattering the helmet. So fast, Steve said wide-eyed, having a hard time following its movements. Excellent punch, beloved. Amora shouted with hearts in her eyes as she grasped her hands together. Thor, can you take her back maybe? Is that an option? Naruto asked hopefully. I believe the mortal term for this situation is no take-backs, Thor said as he shook his head. DMN. Alright, we'll deal with that after I whoop some emo, as Naruto said as Chala and Clint fought Zemo while his gaze zeroed in on Sasuke. This is gonna end the way it should have a long time ago, dope. Me standing over you and your sister and taking my place as the true ruler of the village. Sasuke told him. Oh, get over it. Your clan is still respected, it's your dad's own fault for trying to manipulate you, Sasuke, Naruto said as he took a battle stance. My father is a great man. You all betrayed him. Sasuke glared at him. Your dad tried to stage a coup and tried to build you up as some kind of ace in the hole to beat my mom, Sasuke. He manipulated you. He used you. You were a tool for him. I see that. Akane sees that. Mom sees that. Everyone sees it. You're so drowned in your own darkness you blind yourself to the truth. So I'll make you see it, DMN it. Naruto yelled at him before sending a punch at him which Sasuke dodged, rolled away from. Black Vort Ga. Sasuke yelled as Naruto's python fist ricocheted into the back of his head. Your observation, Haki, was always half-baked. And your emotions are getting in the way now, Naruto said as he cracked his knuckles. Ignorant BSTRD. I'll eviscerate you, maggot. Sasuke growled out. Ignorant? That's rich considering I was the only one who tried to be your friend. Naruto yelled as he sent another punch at Sasuke. I didn't need your pity. I don't need anything. I am the true heir to the village. I am its true ruler. I am Sasuke Uchiha. I will show you all. Sasuke yelled, his rage fully snapping. Uchiha, calm down, Amora yelled, seeing how sloppy and unhinged he was getting. Quiet you where? I'll kill you too after I kill him. Sasuke growled out. You threaten your own ally? How far you've fallen, Naruto said with a frown. Flashback Naruto and Sasuke. Age 5. At a park in Yamatora village, a young Sasuke was sitting alone as some kids were playing nearby. It's him, right? The holder of Madara's old power? A blonde-haired girl whispered to her friend with pink hair. Yeah, he has that awful power. Daddy said to stay away from him, the pink-haired girl said nervously as Sasuke looked towards them. Hey Sasuke was saying before the two ran in fear, making him sigh as he looked down at the ground. Hey, you okay? A voice asked, making Sasuke look up to see a blonde boy with whisker marks. Prince Naruto? Sasuke asked, surprised. Ugh, don't call me that. Just call me Naruto. Besides, you're from one of the other clans anyway, so who cares? Naruto said with a sigh. What are you doing here then? Sasuke asked. Huh? It's a park. And I'm here to hang out and have fun. Wanna join me? Naruto asked with a smile. Sasuke's eyes widened at this as he didn't expect this. Yeah, let's hang out, Sasuke said with a small smile. Flashback end. The old you would value your friends. You wanted to prove yourself that you weren't evil like people thought. You've become the very thing you hate. Naruto told him. Sasuke paused at this before he grabbed his head and started to yell as his darkness started to go crazy, creating a black hole underneath him. Black tendrils swaying erratically while what looked like a snake tattoo on the back of his neck started to form on his neck and slightly spark. Enchantress, send him away. He's a liability. Zemo shouted before Chala kicked him in the face. Right, Amora nodded as her hands glowed green before she was suddenly pulled towards Sasuke by the gravitational force of his darkness. What? Amora yelled in shock as she was being pulled towards the darkness. SHT, hang on. Naruto yelled before sending his arm at her and bringing her towards him and leaping away from the black void in the floor. Oh beloved. You saved me. Amora yelled with hearts in her eyes as she wrapped her arms around Naruto's neck. Naruto ignored this before he set her down while the Avengers got out of their trapped states now that the restraints had faded. Get out of here, all of you. Leave Sasuke to me, Naruto told them. Nay, boy of joys. These villains must be defeated, Thor told him as he swung his hammer around, making a portal appear as Hulk stepped through covered in snow. Sasuke's power is going haywire. Leave now or you're all gonna get crushed to death, DMN. Naruto yelled at them. It's amusing to think that we'll let you all go after all the hard work we went through to capture you all, Zemo said, drawing his sword. Before Abomination was thrown at his feet, lightly bleeding from his neck. So much pain, Abomination groaned out from the floor. You're next, puppet boy. I'm gonna take that sword of yours, shine it up real nice and stick it straight up your b-ass. Akane yelled as she raised her mace and pointed it at Zemo. Wonder Man. Kill her, Zemo said, unintimidated. Simon started to approach her before he was hit from behind by a yellow energy blast, making everyone turn to see Hank holding a large energy gun. Sure, took your time, Pim, Clint said as he readied an arrow. Sorry, gathering my tech from the lab took longer than I thought. Hank said as he pointed the laser at Zemo before the mansion shook. Yeewa! Sasuke yelled as he held his head while his power went more and more crazy. Tony, who was scanning him with his scanner, took note of what his readout was telling him. Something on his neck is making him go crazy. Some type of bioorganism mixed with technology. In the shape of a snake. Tony yelled out as the floor started to get absolutely covered in darkness. His neck? Naruto asked, confused. I'm on it. Janet yelled as she shrunk down and flew towards Sasuke. No, don't. Naruto yelled as Janie flew towards Sasuke. Alright, tall, dark and emo, get ready for ag. Janet yelled as she was suddenly pulled down by the gravitational force created by the darkness. Being pulled towards the floor. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Sasuke yelled as he held his head. What the hell is his problem? Clint asked as he fired an arrow at Zemo, who blocked with Steve's shield before Steve leapt onto him to claim it back. I don't know. This isn't something I've seen before. Naruto admitted, genuinely confused. Snake mark? This seems oddly familiar, Akane said, narrowing her eyes before they widened. Orochimaru. Naruto's eyes widened at this before he scowled. Son of AB. Who? Tony asked as he blasted Executioner with his repulsors. Later. Hey bug girl, I'm gonna give you a opening when you can move, get to his neck and light him up. Akane yelled at Janet. See, can't move, Janet grunted out as she struggled to not be pulled into the black void below. Just wait a minute. Hey Diaz. Akane yelled as she gave a war cry and jumped at Sasuke and swung her hockey-infused mace down at him, slamming down at his feet and sending him flying. Using his own gravitational pull for more damage. This caused the black void below to temporarily fluctuate. Finally. Take this. Janet yelled before she took off and flew towards Sasuke, who was struggling to his feet and sending her stinger blasts at his neck. You will suffer for that, you gaha. Sasuke was growling before Janet fired at the mark on his neck, making him freeze in pain as bolt after bolt rained down on the spot. Each blast making him scream in agony. Go. Down. Already. Janet yelled with each blast of her stingers at him. Soon the mark burst from the last blast from Janet, causing her to be sent flying back from the force. Or at least she would have had Naruto not stretched his arm to catch her. You alright? He asked as he looked down at her. Still being hugged by Amora. I'd be better if you weren't still being hugged by an enemy, Janet said with a tick mark. Hey, I didn't consent to this, you know, let go of me, woman. Naruto yelled at Amora, who giggled. Oh darling, you're so silly. Amora said, still with hearts in her eyes. Janet growled at this before she flew out of Naruto's hand and got in Amora's face and zapped her. Ack. How dare you strike your MSTRS insect? Amora growled. Payback time, you bleached bimbo. Janet yelled as she flew at Amora again to attack her. Wow, Naruto said, his eyes widening as he watched Janet attack Amora with her stingers, which Amora blocked with a magic barrier. Boy of joys, if you are done gawking at your consorts, might you help us with this battle? Thor asked as he swung his hammer into Simon, sending him flying back from the force of the blow. They're not. Fine, let me end this. Gum gum jet culverin. Naruto yelled, compressing his fist before sending his fist out towards Simon, who braced for impact before the fist suddenly changed direction and hit a wall before bouncing off, hitting him in the back of his head and smashing the man through a mansion wall. Whoa, Akane said in surprise, seeing her brother's new attack style. I believe we are outclassed here. Enchantress, it's time to retreat, Zemo ordered. Fine, this isn't over, insect, Amora said as she glared at Janet, the two having been fighting and having noticeable tears in their clothing before she cast her spell, making all the villains disappear, including the passed-out Sasuke. And I'm spent, Naruto groaned as he fell on his back and steam started coming out of his body. You good, kid? Tony asked as he landed nearby. Need food? Naruto yelled out loudly. That's fine, I'll have the chef send up a plate of steaming veggies for you, Tony said with a smirk. F you, old man. You will send my brother a feast worthy of a warrior prince. Akane said with a glare. Don't worry, Fido, you're getting a nice raw steak, Tony said with a smirk, making Akane growl at him. You're not gonna try and kill him this time? Clint asked as he put away his bow and arrows. For the first time in our lives he has gained my respect. I am proud to call him my brother, Akane said simply. Thanks sis, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Naruto said with an eye roll. Indeed it is. Enjoy the compliment, Akane said as if it was normal. I'll get you some pizza, Whiskers, Janet said as she landed next to Naruto and grew to her normal size. Pizza sounds good, Naruto said with a small smile. What is pizza? Is it good? Akane asked curiously, getting looks of surprise from the others. Naruto, you failed as a brother, Tony said hearing this. Eat a PP Stark. Naruto yelled, flipping him the bird. We'll introduce you to it. I'm sure you'll love it, Steve said to Akane. Are we not gonna talk about the home invasion here? Hank asked as he put away his laser. We'll discuss it over dinner. Especially Zemo. He mentioned something to me. He was so sure of his actions. Even saying that his actions would put the whole world in his hands, Steve admitted with a serious tone. Making everyone go silent. A week later. So what's the latest with you and your lady friends? Peter asked as he and Naruto were on a rooftop looking down an alleyway waiting for a weapons deal to go down with some of Fisk's men. Let's see. I have a crazy as Asgardian stalker now. So how are you? Naruto asked before he shoved a whole slice of pizza in his mouth. Come again? Peter asked with a raised eyebrow under his mask. Enchantress, blonde, leggy, green dress, works with a big guy with a battle axe, apparently likes me more than Thor now. He's never been happier hearing that to the point he threw me a feast 2 days ago. I've never seen so much booze in my life, Naruto admitted with a sigh. Your social life is crazy, Peter said with a deadpan tone. Yeah. So how is collecting evidence on Fat Boy going? It's getting hard keeping Elektra off the warpath, Naruto asked. It's going well. You guys have brought in enough that Yuri thinks she can storm Fisk Tower soon. Peter said. Something tells me she will need backup. If you need me, call me or Elektra, Naruto told him. Yeah, no offense, but I'd rather not trust the murderous ninja woman to help with a raid, Peter admitted. She's not that bad, you know, she actually calls me by my name now. Not to mention she even laughs at my jokes now, some of them, Naruto said with a chuckle. Akane even sees her as a bit of a role model, Naruto said with a smile. Your sister sees the ninja woman unafraid to kill as a role model, and that's okay to you? Peter asked, bewildered at this. As she could pick worse role models. At least Elektra has some ethics and her own code. Not to mention she's smart, tactical, attractive, and her movements are graceful with, she's standing right behind me, isn't she? Naruto asked flatly, seeing Peter looking behind him. Afraid so. Don't let that stop you though, Elektra said with a chuckle. I see why you have a thing for her, Peter said with a smirk under his mask. Sell out. Watch your back. My pranks are the things that keep Ant-Man paranoid, Naruto grumbled out. Ooh, I'm so scared, Peter said with an eye roll. As fun as it is to watch you with your friends, I have information for you. Fisk has a mole with your detective friend and is moving to wipe evidence of his entire operation. Your chief of police friend is also currently having her men storm Fisk Tower unknowing of this fact, Elektra told them. They're moving already? DMN it, I need to help them, Peter said before leaping off the rooftop and swinging away. Wait for me. Shamu isn't getting away with this. Naruto yelled as he was about to catapult himself after him, but Elektra grabbed his shoulder. I am coming with you too, Elektra told him firmly. That's fine, I trust you to not kill them, Naruto said as Elektra had kept her promise not to kill any non-hand members up to now. Good. If Fisk wipes all evidence, I lose out on potential hand information. Now let's go, Elektra told him before Naruto picked her up in his arm to her surprise. You got it. Let's go hook us a whale. Naruto yelled with a laugh before he jumped off the rooftop and used his free RBB arm to swing while Elektra held onto him with her arms. You will tell no one of this, Elektra told him with a glare. Yeah, pretty sure this is gonna get caught on camera of you in my arms. DMN reporters are vulture's eye. Swear, Naruto told her. Later with Peter. He had just dropped into the server room which Fisk's men were trying to guard so they could finish deleting everything. Naughty. You guys need to be more through deleting your browser history, Peter said, kicking a thug in the face, knocking him out. As he said this, the doors opened and a fresh squad of Fisk's men ran in with guns armed and ready. But before they could fire, they heard a Tarzan yell as Naruto smashing them from behind, holding Elektra in his arms as he tackled them to the floor. Thank you for flying Joyboy International. Please rate your trip on our website and get a complimentary dinner with your next ride, Naruto said as he set Elektra down. Watch your back, Elektra said as she saw one of the thugs getting up and sent a kick into his face, knocking the man out cold. Yes dear, Naruto said with a feeble tone before he laughed, before he ducked, avoiding a punch from a goon before slugging him in the face. Spider-Man, Joy Boy, and some ninja SLT. What was the circus cancelled? A thug asked as he rushed at Joy Boy, who jumped over him. Not that I'm one to question how you do your job, but name-calling. Not a good idea with this one, pal, Peter said as he shook his head as Elektra glared at the man as she twirled her sais in her hands before she threw them, hitting the man in his wrists, pinking him to the wall. Holy SHT. Another thug yelled before he found his mouth webbed up and then punched in the face. What happened to no killing? Naruto asked curiously. He will live. I didn't hit his veins. He's just pinned to the wall for interrogation, Elektra said with a scowl as she turned to the computer and started to type at it and stop the mass deletion. Anyone have a flash drive? Elektra asked. Got you covered, Peter said as he held up a mini flash drive that had his suit's color scheme. Thank you, Elektra said, placing it in the computer and copying files to it. Evidence for your cop friend. She said, taking the drive out of the computer before reaching into her shirt and pulling out her own flash drive. As she typed, an image appeared on the massive computer screen of a big man who was bald. This was Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Spider-Man. Still interfering with my plans. With some help I see, Fisk said with an irritated tone. Hail Willie. You meet my friends? Peter asked with a smirk. I am quite familiar with the RBB fool of the Avengers, and hello again, Miss Nachios. It has been a while since we last met. They must be desperate if you're aiding them, Fisk greeted the woman. Fisk, Elektra said with a glare. Yaga there be the white whale, Naruto said with a captain's accent as he smiled and waved at the screen, getting a snort of laughter from Peter and a slight smirk from Elektra. Amusing, Fisk said with a tick mark appearing on his forehead in irritation. I also do bar mitzvahs. Don't worry, we will be visiting you at your office. So don't eat all the pizza and ice cream. Naruto yelled with a smile. This resulted in a laugh from Peter and Elektra before Fisk slugged his camera, cutting off the video feed. I think he doesn't like me. Not sure why, Naruto said with a thinking pose. Alright, as funny and cute as you are, we should move, Elektra said as she turned to leave the room. Sure T, wait, you think I'm cute? Naruto asked, following her before pausing. Focus RBB boy, we have an appointment, Peter said as he grabbed Naruto by his ear with his web and pulled him along. Outside Fisk's office. As the three heroes entered the next room, they saw a group of what looked like NYPD officers in full riot gear. Great backup for the good guys for once, Peter said with a relieved tone. Don't count on it, Bud Hockey is giving off bad vibes, Naruto said as he used his observation hockey to do a sweep of the squad of officers. Perfect timing. We were just about to call for backup, one of the officers said, slowly reaching for his gun. Before Elektra launched herself at the officer and slammed her foot into his face, sending him and some teeth flying. Go after Fisk, I have them, Elektra said as she drew her sais and leapt towards the other officers. Your new girlfriend is crazy, Peter said flatly. Trust me, she's not in the top 3 of crazy women I know, Naruto said with a flat tone as they both walked through Fisk's office doors. Didn't deny the girlfriend thing, Peter said with a smirk. Oh, F off arachnid kid, Naruto said as he rolled his eyes. With Amora. Amora was meanwhile in her hideout with the other masters of evil doing her favorite activity. Watching Naruto do things via a magic portal view screen. Girlfriend? Her new love rival. Amora yelled as she incinerated a nearby chair with green flames. Fisk's office. Naruto and Peter burst into the office and saw Fisk waiting behind his desk behind some bulletproof glass. Ha, swanky office. Though the fat guy kinda ruins it. I'm just happy there's no Nike statues of himself littering the room, Naruto said as he watched Fisk put down a notebook he was writing in. Writing your memoirs, Willie? Be sure to include the hyphen in Spider-Man, Peter told him. Joy Boy is one name, FYI. Try not to stain your page with barbecue sauce either. I recommend a bib, Naruto said with a smile. 8 years of this insolence and now there's 2 of you, Fisk said irritated as he pulled out a remote and 4 turrets came out from 4 pillars in the room. Oh god, my one weakness. Naruto yelled dramatically. Bullets? Peter asked, deciding to play along. No, a fat man holding a remote not connected to a TV. It's unholy, Naruto said mockingly as he switched to gear second. You insolent dash, Fisk was yelling before suddenly Naruto slugged him, easily shattering through the bulletproof glass while Peter took care of the turrets. Look, I caught a whale. Now to send him to SeaWorld. Don't worry, you'll get plenty of fish, Naruto said, gripping Fisk's suit. I will destroy you. Fisk growled out, sending a punch into Naruto's face. Only for Naruto's head and neck to stretch back. Sorry Willy, I'm all RBB. But you're free to keep trying until you're out of breath and need a hit off a took. Naruto snickered. You dare mock me? Fisk growled out as he grabbed Naruto and swung him into Peter, sending them both out of the office. It gets laughs, so yeah. Not a fan of that one. I have others. Like you're so fat when you shave marshmallow fluff comes out. Or how about you're so fat when you go to the doctor the BLD pressure monitor reads, why am I wrapped around 3 people, oh wait no, you're so fat your last walk past a buffet closed them down in fear, Naruto laughed. I'm all muscle, you RBB fool. Let me show you. Fisk yelled as he jumped at Naruto and Peter. His fists in the air ready to slam them down on them both, only for Naruto send a fast hockey-infused punch into his gut, making him double over. Herc. Fisk groaned as he grabbed his stomach and fell to his knees in shock before falling forward onto his face. Ooh, you are out of shape. Really need to do more cardio, dude, Naruto said with a snicker. That hockey does hit hard if it hurts, Willy, Peter said as he whistled, impressed. As the two spoke, the door to the office burst open as Elektra and Yuri came in with a squad of police officers behind them. Oh good, you guys came. Hope you have extra large HNDCFFS. If you need to motivate him, I recommend tying a ribeye steak to a stick and leading him, Naruto said with a snicker. This got some laughs from the cops with Yuri as they approached Fisk. You did good work today, you two. Along with your ninja friend here. Yuri said, gesturing to Elektra. Yesh, those dirty cops you fought, are they dash? Peter was asking, but Elektra cut them off. They will live. You will be surprised what you can live through yet still squeal like a pig in agony, Elektra said simply. Regardless, we need to take Fisk into custody, so you may all go, Yuri told them. Later. Outside of Fisk's building, Fisk was being led to a police vehicle while the press watched Peter Naruto watching. Let's go, Fisk. It's time to pay the piper, a cop said, lifting the now cuffed Fisk up with his fellow officers while Naruto and Peter stood in front of the cop car. Off to Rikers now, eh? Don't drop the soap, Naruto snickered. Good luck, Willy. I think you'll need it, Peter said as he waved. Idiots. I kept order in this city. 1 month. In 1 month you'll wish you had me back. Fisk yelled as he was placed into the cop car before it drove off, before Naruto and Peter leapt onto a nearby rooftop where Elektra was waiting for them. Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese? Naruto asked with a smirk. I can eat, Elektra said after a few moments of thought. I can't. I gotta get to my real job. Have fun, you 2-inch, Peter said as he leapt off the roof and swung away. Well then, Miss Nachios. Shall we? Naruto asked with a smirk, holding out his arm for her. A gentleman, huh? Just one thing before we go, Elektra said with a smirk. Oh, what is dash? Naruto was saying before finding himself pulled by his collar by Elektra into a searing lip lock. Her tongue shoved down his throat as his eyes widened in shock from the kiss. Click. Oh, this is so going to the news reporters. Wade said as he was holding a camera. Drop it, Wade. Naruto yelled in a panic as he pulled away from Elektra. Nope. Have fun explaining this to your lawyer, who's her ex-boyfriend, and Janet and Laura and Rogue. Bye-bye, Monkey D. Luffy. Wade said before teleporting away cackling like a madman. Get back here. Naruto and Elektra yelled together as they took off after the merc. Yamatora Village. Meanwhile in Yamatora Village an alarm was going off and people were yelling and screaming in panic as they ran as buildings were on fire as what looked like doom bots were flying over the village and as what looked like an army of the best fighters of the village clashed with the doom bots. What looked like a massive metal dragon wearing a green cloak appeared in the sky and floated over the village. Yasukani no Magatama. Minato yelled sending multiple blasts of light the dragon which crashed into the dragon kicking up a huge dust cloud. Only for the dust cloud to dissipate and reveal the dragon was unharmed. The dragon then opened its mouth and fired a massive blast at the army attacking his doom bots sending them flying. Dragon son of AB. Kushina growled out as she turned into her full kitsune form and rushed at the giant beast only for the dragon to suddenly shrink into a half-human and half-dragon form as Dr. Doom grabbed Kushina by her throat and slammed her into the ground, making a giant crater. Kushina. Minato yelled as he was about to dash and help his wife only for a blast of magma to cut off his dash making him look towards the source. Danzo you traitor, he said with narrowed eyes. The only traitors to the village are you and your family. Yellow Flash, Danzo told him with a firm tone. Citizens of Yamatora Village. From this day forward your village is under new leadership. Mine. All of you will kneel before Doom. Or this woman will die, Doom said as he held up Kushina for all the villagers to see as he strangled her with one hand. Everyone in the village looked at Minato for guidance on what to do. Don't let him win Minagak. Kushina was saying before she started to choke and gasp even louder as Doom applied more pressure. Don't be a fool, you obviously care about your village and want the people here to thrive. And under my rule they will. You have a choice. Will you and your wife die to me as I take control regardless? Or will you two live? Doom asked. We surrender. Just don't hurt her. Please, Minato said as he lowered his head. You're a very wise man. Doom said as he dropped Kushina before looking at his Doom bots. Lock her and her husband up. Should any villagers disobey my rule they will be executed, Doom said as he looked at everyone. As the Doom bot started to take Kushina and Minato away and round villagers up, Shisui was watching from a nearby rooftop. This is bad. We need to find Naruto and Akane, Shisui thought looking over to his left to see Itachi, a young man with spiky red hair named Gaara, and a brown-haired woman in a purple kimono named Shizune. Before opening a door, get in now. We need to get help immediately, Shisui said to them. They all nodded as they all piled into the door which they closed just as a Doom bot flew overhead as it surveyed the village for any stragglers. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 5. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.